Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. Just having a quick look at the technicals on the ASX 200, and it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. The markets have not quite closed, but as you can see, it's broken that sort of support around that sort of 5,200 level. Possibly could come down a little bit more on Monday. Really, I mean, apart from that, to give you any direction or any idea where the markets are going to go next week, I've really got no idea. It's We've actually picked it really well for the last few months. I think week in, week out, we managed to give you a sort of guidance, more or less where the market's going. Um, Next week, I think it's all on these elections. They're pretty evenly poised. I think obviously if Trump gets in, boom, we're down here. I don't know where, maybe even as low as 4,800 or 5,000. If Clinton wins, we could have a little bit of a spike. Um, and you can have a look. I think the market's getting very nervous on these elections. You can see that volatility index spiking up. I think I said to you last night, maybe even as high as 20, 25. It's high as 22 now. Possibly tonight it could jump a little bit higher. And certainly, I think possibly if we can get a feeling on where these polls are going to be on Monday, we could start to look to make a few calls. And but at the moment, until we get some really strong, like I said last night, some really strong clarity, what's going to happen, we're obviously just sort of basically staying on the sidelines. Um, as I said last night, I just like to look at the 3-year growth stories, and especially some of the ones we sold. So there are some that Appin had a really good fall today. So I've really got my eyes pretty pinned on that. If obviously if it looks like Clinton's going to get it back in, I think this could turn quite nicely. Again, this is absolutely a superb story. As with Catapult, again, I think these are two companies where if the market sort of stabilizes, I think they could pretty quickly reverse their trend and have a pretty good move up. And BWX as well. So there's a few there I think are potentially could definitely be interesting to put back on stocks that we've made good money with in the past. And again, another company which isn't one of our 3-year growth. We're looking at it. They've just obviously done a big takeover, raised a lot of money around this level. SDA Speedcast. Our analysts are looking at it. They like it at the moment. This is something that we could be putting on in the next few weeks. I think certainly to me, it's starting to look pretty exciting. I think what's good to see at Equity Story, basically the stories that we decided to hold on to have actually, generally speaking, held up really well in a pretty difficult time. And good to see GTK, again, with great announcement and really good movement today. And again, hitting record highs, and it's looking fantastically strong. So again, we like GTK. It's a bit like one of our other favorites, Hansen Group. And again, it's some great revenue growth there. I think it was about 25%, which is superb. Once on 3-year growth, I would like to talk about, and I think we got a little buying opportunity here, but maybe not just yet, is Main Pharma. Now, the market's particularly tough on, and you can see. I think that what's happened is the authorities in the States want to review what Main Pharma have got one product that's about 25% actually of their revenue, and in the States they want to review the sort of margins that Main Pharma is making on this product. Now, I think that story was out here, so the people in the know were like selling down, I think, around here, and obviously today it got out in the public and had a big fall. It's when you actually look at the story, it's not that bad. What they're saying in the States, like they're saying, hey, Main Pharma, you're making 95% margins on this product. To be honest, that's one of the reasons we like them at Equity Story. We love companies making 95% margins on products, but obviously they're having a look at it, maybe think it's a little bit over the top. Main Pharma came out today and said they don't believe it's going to affect their revenue model at all. But even if it does, it might affect it a little bit. Now, I don't think it deserves that sort of pullback. Would I be buying into it now? If I owned it, I'd be happy holding it because the 3-year growth story, I think this is going to be very, very good. I think I'd just wait till it stabilizes, and then certainly I might be having a more serious look at it. Just before we go tonight, I'd have a quick look at those sort of 3-year, these 10 baggers, how they performed. And it's been a pretty tough week, but obviously with the classic weekly buy signals, some of the big successes there. It was good to see OZL, Oz Minerals, up around 10%. It went through that buy signal absolutely beautifully, as did really all of them at the beginning of the week. Corporate travel went through very nicely, and just get some levels here so you can see. So corporate travel went for that buy signal, opened the week at sort of $19, went as high as 19.25, and then sort of basically sort of pulled back with the market sentiment. FMG went through at the beginning of the week and sort of pulled back slightly, and again IGO had when opened the week at 420, went as high as 339. But all in all, I think with Oz Minerals doing so well, they would have really outperformed the market. And again, obviously, the ones that we said had looked bullish. Northern Star was there, 420, looks like it's closing around that 445. MIN again did very well in a difficult week. Opened at 1140. It's been looks like it's going to close around 1163. It's been as high as 1180. AWC opened the week at 152. Looks like it'll close slightly higher. Rio, they did quite well at the beginning of the week. Yeah, Rio opened the week at 54.15 and went as high as 54.70, and at the moment they're trading a little bit under. But generally speaking, doing pretty well. And as you'd expect in a week that is pretty bearish, the bearish stocks would obviously do badly. And as you can see, CBA again, hopefully for CBA holders, it should hold that support around 70. But again, CBA looks weak, as does IAG. Look, it really did have a nice big black candle. Oil Search. Again, you can see these stocks that we said should had classic sell signals, should be weak, and ORG as well. Not as bad as the others. Likewise, the stocks we said were bearish. FLT down today so far 7.74%. At one stage, this was down 12%. What a big ugly black candle. Bank of Queensland, the same big ugly candles this week. So you would expect these stocks. AWE held up a little bit better, but you would expect these stocks. Seek looks absolutely terrible. These stocks that obviously look bearish, you would expect them, generally speaking, to obviously get sold off pretty heavily. Just having a look at Telstra, one I'm pretty negative on. Again, for me, it needs to hold over that $5 by the end of the week. The weekend's not quite closed yet. I don't think it's going to do it. I'm pretty negative on that stock, like I said before. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. I think the action all starts possibly Monday, but definitely Tuesday or Wednesday. I think we're going to have an interesting week next week, and there's going to be a bit of trading going on. I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and again, have a great weekend. Good night.